Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So I have something insane to show you. This Bitcoin chart that tracks Bitcoin versus gold from the 70s and how it's insanely, uncannily following. And if it continues, the trajectory for Bitcoin is going to go through the roof. So let's talk about this uncanny, insane chart and also what's going on with Bitcoin today. And of course, let's talk about altcoins who are all having a pretty good day today. So we're seeing a good recovery with altcoins. So happy Friday, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, 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 welcome. Happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday. I know this morning, slight profit taking, I know. Ever since the market opened, it was funny because this morning I woke up, I'm like, okay, it looks like pretty good. We're going to go back up. And now as soon as the market opened, we had some profit taking going on, but that's okay. Profit taking is natural. Corrections are natural. Manipulations, not natural, but it happens, right? So however you want to define it, we did have a slight dip with Bitcoin today, and it looks like, it's holding still above 60 and is heading up again. But while this is happening, altcoins are actually doing really good. Solana actually formed a new high this morning, just yesterday. And the day before, it's been coming up. Last night, I did a video on Solana. And this morning, actually shot up to 215. Actually made a new high. Has come down a little bit since then. But you could see a lot of altcoins today are doing well, right? Bitcoin is down and Ethereum is down. The two seem to be very, very correlated. But outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, you see Binance Coin having a green day. Polkadot having a green day. Terra is starting to come up. 7% having a good day. Avalanche having a good day at 9%. Algorand having a good day, right? You go down the list, there's a lot. OKB has been pumping up a lot recently. I don't know what's going on. But Theta finally, some movement at 8% today. Elrana 8%. Harmony is coming up, right? So today is like a recovery day for altcoins. And some, like Solana, actually formed a new high. So definitely very promising. Definitely not a market retracement. If we were having a full-blown correction, we know that everything will be down, right? But that's not the case today because people know that this is just the beginning. It's about to get exciting. This is why you want to be in the game right now. You don't want to be scared out. You don't want to transfer your wealth away to the whales that want it all. They want to accumulate as much as possible before the end of this year. Now, let's get to this insane chart that I want to show you guys. And I have credit Jay Simmons super chat. Trying to build up hodls, have 0.28 BTC, 1.5 ETH, continue to build BTC ETH today. I want to buy the dips. Jay, you should always buy the dips, but set a schedule for yourself, right? If you keep maxing out every single day, you're going to run out of money. So set a schedule, dollar cost average into them over a long haul, right? So do it every week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Find a schedule for yourself, right? And stick with it. Now, what's this insane chart? Well, I got to thank TechDev for this. He's always looking at good macro fractal, kind of views of Bitcoin. And take a look at this. I know a lot of you guys know that gold, previous times, I should take that back. I don't know if a lot of you guys know that, but some people have correlated Bitcoin's movement with gold. But the strange thing is, the uncanny thing is, it has followed it basically for 54 weeks straight. That's a year, right? And the uncanny thing is, it's right around the same time that gold also formed a $1 trillion market cap. So it's uncanny in so many ways. We know Bitcoin just formed a 1 trillion market cap, right? So that also happened with gold. And when gold, right before it started really going up, this is why Peter Schiff's of the world and Robert Kiyosaki's of the world, they love gold. is because they lived through this time, right, where gold was getting very, very, very popular, and it started to go up in a big way. And that is exactly what Bitcoin is doing. And why is it doing this? Because it's maturing. As an asset class, it's maturing. Adoption is growing. Awareness and usage and everything, the network effect, everything is growing, kind of like gold in the 70s in the non-digital way. But you could see, following the same pattern for basically 54 weeks. And the trajectory is this. If we continue to follow gold's trajectory going into November, which will push Bitcoin into the 80s and 90s, kind of like how Plan B predicted. Plan B said that Bitcoin is going to be at 98,000 by November, right? This is actually tracking that. I wonder if Plan B just looked at something like this. But if this keeps following, Bitcoin will hit into the 80s and 90s in November. And of course, 100,000 after hitting December. And we may see that blow off top event, not December, but come, say, January and February of 2022. And that blow off top event is going to push Bitcoin into the 200,000 area, anywhere between 235 to 315. So probably approximately 250-ish or so. That is why this is insane. The trajectory is insane. All the fractal patterns that compares our current run right now to 2013 and 2017, all indicates that we will see this blow off top event. And all the other metrics out there that's measuring if we're seeing a top all say that we're nowhere close to it. But this is really uncanny how Bitcoin is following gold. And if you think about it, it makes sense, right? Because Bitcoin was created to displace gold, to replace gold. It's a digital gold. Like Michael Saylor says, it's pharmaceutical gold. It has all the goodness of gold, but none of the bad, right? So it makes sense that it would follow the same path. But, I think this is very, very interesting. So thanks for TechDev for making this correlation. Now, what else is there? Well, Bob Lucas, one of the most well-known TA guys out there in terms of plotting crypto and stocks and everything. And according to him, you know what? The total market cap of crypto has grown 200% in the last 4 years. And if you're a chartist and you're looking at a chart right now, the chart looks ridiculously bullish and poised. And given the techno awareness and adoption expansion, I think the next 6 to 12 months are going to be discussed for a long, long, long time. And that makes me think, why, right? Why? Because of this. Because this 6 months, right, has never been forgotten, at least not by the gold bugs. That's why they believe in gold. They believe that gold will continue to go forward someday, even though the last decade it has not moved, right? But they lived through this. Just like us, if we live through this period in 2021 and we see Bitcoin hit a top of 250-ish, we're going to remember that forever. We're going to remember that forever. So that makes a whole lot of sense, right? All right. So just wanted to start out with those things. Will Komet also really good at finding patterns, and he's looking at a delta valuation model, and it plots a top and a bottom and how it is now sloping upwards. Now, these kind of grander models take a long time, just like moving averages. If you're looking at, like, let's say the weekly moving average, monthly moving average, they can take a long time before you actually see it swing up or down, right? Because all of us are used to looking at charts at like every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, or even every day. But if you expand it out, then it takes a long, long time before it deviates down or up. But right now, what it's looking like is it's going up. It's going up. Bitcoin has been going up ever since 3,000, and now you're starting to see it starting slope once again. And according to Will, with the delta, we'll see somewhere closer to 150 to 175. So give or take 25, 50,000, right? Give or take here and there. Basically, like I said, everything is pointing upwards at this point, which is what we want to hear and what we're looking forward to. What else is there? Valkyrie, another Bitcoin futures ETF, starts trading today. So this is the second one, obviously, of ProShares. is the first one. Now we have the second one with Valkyrie, and next week we'll have another one from Van Eyck, and then after that we'll have more and more and more and more. And what this is doing is bringing a lot more money into the space right now, and this is setting up for a true Bitcoin spot ETF, which could be approved early 2022, right? We'll see when that does. I think it's going to be Grayscale, someone that holds over 600,000 Bitcoins already. It just makes a whole lot of sense. But this is a stepping stone. This needs to occur before that happens, right? What else is there? PayPal logs its largest Bitcoin volume since May. And it makes sense because back in May was when Bitcoin hit $60-something thousand, right? So now you're starting to see that again. The funny thing is, I've been showing you guys Google search trends. And Google search trends does not indicate that retail FOMO is here. So it's interesting that PayPal is starting to see an increase in volume, but people that are searching Bitcoin on Google is still very low. So what does that mean exactly? Well, it just means that, hey, fintech apps like this is widely used around the world already, and it's just very easy for people to just go in and buy Bitcoin, and they probably saw it for months and months and months, right? But people that are still, they don't have a PayPal account, or they still don't believe, or they're still sitting on the sidelines, they're going to come in. They're going to come in, so it's still early. It's still early. I don't know how else to say it. All right, hold on. Let me make sure I didn't miss any more super chats. Vishan asked, between ADA, Matic, DOT, which are the three you're most bullish on in terms of price growth? Out of the three, I don't know. I think they're all about the same. I think out of the three, I like DOT the most at this point because Parachain auction is coming up. But Matic, you don't want to sleep on. I mean, they keep gaining more and more. Unstoppable domains moving into them. OpenSea's on them. The DraftKings NFT marketplace is on them. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on Matic, so I like them a lot too. And Cardano, I still think is good. So I think you should just diversify and spread out between all three. All right. What else is there? Scrolling down. Make sure I don't miss anything. When Bitcoin hits its top and begins to retrace, will altcoins dump before a true altcoin season? No, I think you're going to have a small period of time where you're going to have a ton of money flowing to altcoins. That's what I think, because I've lived through it. 2017, that's how it was. Maybe it's not as much as before because altcoins are much bigger, but I remember 2017 when Bitcoin, exactly December 15th, it started to come down, and that is the exact date that altcoins started going on a ferocious run until about mid-January. So there was about a month there. And we could very well see the same thing happen this time around. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. I think that's good. Marbrand, thank you. I own 110 BTC and want to add more. I will wait for bear market to DCA Bitcoin at a discount. Sure, if you want to wait, but you're going to regret, I think. While you're waiting, Bitcoin's going to go higher and higher and higher and higher, and you may regret that. So I would suggest if you go DCA, just forget the price, set a schedule for yourself, and just let it go. Easy, thank you. Love these midday updates. Yeah, Sputnik, I'm not going to do that. Don't forget, quantum computer can break. Okay, I've heard that before. What's your opinion of a quant chart getting tight? Quant has been doing very well. I haven't looked at the chart for quant, but they have been doing very well. I haven't kept up with them in terms of their recent development, but they're just hanging in there and keep going a little bit higher. All right, moving on. What else is there? I talked about this. Walmart is starting to populate Bitcoin ATMs, 200 to start with, with plans for 8,000 in total. So obviously, they're anticipating that Bitcoin is going to go a lot higher. Why not offer it to their customers, right? So this is definitely going to help a lot of the people that will be FOMOing in the future, right? So that's pretty positive. Of course, there was a rumor about Litecoin being added, being bought by Walmart. Turns out to be false. But this is much, much better, in my opinion. All right, what else is there? This is interesting for Ethereum 17% of addresses snapped up 80% of all Ethereum NFTs since April. Interesting. That does show, and it makes sense. We know that NFTs are very, very hot, right? But it makes sense that people that made the most of NFTs, they're the ones that's snapping up all the new ones. So this is why I still get the sense that not a whole lot of people's in NFTs, even though we see it blow up and we see them go up in value, not a whole lot of people actually hold any. So this actually makes a whole lot of sense that basically the NFT whales are the ones that's snapping up all the NFTs, right? That's pretty interesting. But in terms of NFT sales, is no joke. 3.5 billion so far this year. That is a tremendous amount. Speaking of NFTs, I'm still trying to come out with a really cool line, right? I did one auction so far. It did go very well, but this new line is going to be very, very awesome. Very awesome. I'm going to hype it up right now. So yes, it's going to be awesome. All right, what about some altcoins like Avalanche today is doing very well? Well, the foundation teamed up with F1 and the Andretti Autosport. So now you'll see, look at this. That's a sweet looking car. But of course, Avalanche is getting into F1 now, just getting themselves out there, right? And also in terms of usage or daily transactions, active wallets, just keeps going up and up and up and up. And of course, it makes sense. Look at this. Look at the active addresses. Just keeps going up and up. And that's insane. Insane growth. This is why Avalanche has had a avalanche of a year and just like blew up out of nowhere. Also, Binance Smart Chain, they're launching a 100 million liquidity incentive. This is strange. This is an accelerator fund to fund DeFi projects and gaming and NFTs, but Binance just came out with the 1 billion incentive program, and I don't know the difference between this one and that one. So maybe this is part of that 1 billion. But CZ recently just said that he's going to put 1 billion into dApps on Binance Smart Chain. So I don't know. This may be just a little portion of that. But of course, CZ and Binance does not want to give away their lead. Binance BNB is still number 3. I feel like no one talks about BNB, right? Because people like to hate on Binance or CZ. But the simple fact is this: BNB is still sitting at number 3 at 81 billion market cap. Right? So they are absolutely huge. Absolutely. At one point in time, I said BNB, I think BNB is going to flip Ethereum. Right? I was a little premature in saying that because earlier this year, BNB was just on fire. And Ethereum was really not on fire at this time. But now Ethereum has reclaimed its throne. But nevertheless, BNB is still sitting up there at number 3. And also their DeFi total value locked is over 20 billion. You can see earlier this year they shot up to about 32 billion. So they're still not back to that point, but they are climbing again. And this is still larger than Solana, which I talked about, which is about 12 billion, and Avalanche, which is about 10 billion, and Terra is about 10 billion too. So it kind of shows you the value locked on Binance Smart Chain is about double than the other players, which kind of makes sense when you're looking at market cap. All right, lastly, Ripple CEO is, it's weird. Brad with his lawsuit, right? I get it. He has to defend Ripple and XRP, but he's just like throwing shade at everyone. Basically now he's saying that Ripple was always number 2, but it's because SEC helped Ethereum and declared their non-security. So in essence, SEC favors Ethereum and gave them a free pass and allowed them to overstep XRP. I don't know if that's a good defense. Sorry, excuse me. I just don't know. Like, these kind of defense just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like back in the day, a few months ago, Ripple was blaming Bitcoin and blaming, I forgot who else they blamed. They're just blaming everyone, right? I don't know if these actually really help the case. But I do want to see Ripple win because I don't want to see SEC get too powerful or overstep. So I actually do want to see them win, but this is going to last a long time. This is going to keep going until well into 2023. When this was first announced, I said This lawsuit will take about 2 to 3 years. And all the XRP Army guys like, oh, what are you talking about? It's going to be settled in like 6 months. No, it's not. No, it's not. SEC does not want to lose this, right? Especially now. They want to put their foot down. And they want to win so that they can like go after every company they think is a security. So it's going to be a tight battle. Tight battle for sure. All right, guys. That's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. Andrew got that right. That's what I was looking for. It's misdirection. Yes, it's misdirection. Shy says, check out Punkscape on OS. Next wave will be NFT banners and Twitter verification OS background. A lot of punks in, incredible community, not chill, but bullish on banners. I don't know if I believe in NFT banners. Twitter verification I get. NFT banners? I don't know about that. All right. I'm losing my voice today. What's your opinion on Illuvium? Hey, I like Illuvium. They've done really well. Went from, I don't know, like 20 or 30 bucks now to $800. And the game isn't even out yet. So it's one of the co-founders, actually two of the co-founders are brothers of the guy who started Synthetic. So they have some experience and they're well backed and they're creating this whole play to earn game. They're trying to go after Axie Infinity. So they're looking like they're doing really good right now. What does setting a schedule and leave it mean? Meaning that you set a schedule and leave it and don't look at it. Don't look at the price. Don't try to trade it. Set a schedule every Friday, every 2 Fridays, every 1 day of the month, you go buy Bitcoin and you buy the same amount every single time. That's called dollar cost averaging over long haul. When taking profits, let's say 20%, is that actual coin holdings or from the dollar amount? That's up to you. That's up to you. You could do it for a dollar amount. You could do it, based on the actual coin. I mean, it really doesn't matter. Just stick with something that works for you and make sure that you actually have profits locked in and have cash on the side. Lisa Boo, thank you. What do you think about Kilma and their algorithmic stablecoin? To be honest, I don't really like algorithmic stablecoins all that much. I get it. It makes sense. But I don't know. Something about it. And backed by carbon credit. That's even worse. I don't believe in carbon credits at all. I think that's just it just makes no sense that you're buying carbon credits to offset, carbon usage. I mean, that doesn't even make any sense to me. All right. What else is there? Do you think that selling BTC to the average person at Walmart who doesn't understand it will make the next major pullback worse than it happens? No. Because every cycle's like that. There's always people that come in that don't understand it. They're chasing the price anyway, so it's not going to be any worse than before. Let's just put it that way. What do you think about ICP lately? I've never liked ICP, so I will never say it's a buy. If I could get my parents to enter crypto world during September, then you all get your folks to enter right now. That's tough. Some folks, some people, doesn't even mean it has nothing to do with age. It's just some people are not investors. I know people that are just not investors. They will not invest. So you can't get them to invest, not even in stocks. So you're not going to get them to invest in Bitcoin either. So it's going to be tough for some people. It's going to be tough. How far do you think Avalanche could go cycle? Well, just like Solana and Terra and, Matic, VeChain, I think they all have the 5 to 10x potential. So I think they're all, in the same space competing to take down Ethereum. But you know, I think there's a lot of room to grow for Ethereum and Bitcoin, and that's why I think they're all going to do well. Silas, I'd say 15,000. I say 15,000 for Ethereum. Do you think it's still too early for multi-vac? NFT marketplace coming out this month, smart contracts, exciting stuff. I mean, yes, until they really move to page 1. I don't even know what they're... Oh. They don't even come up. Alright. I know of them. I mean, you know, until they get some true traction, right? They start coming up above, you know, $1 billion, then they're gonna have true traction. Then. Elrond Exchange is coming in November. Well, that may be why they're doing well. Oh, that's what multi-vac is. MTV. Right? Wow. Live CoinWatch doesn't even have them listed. Interesting. All right, guys. Last few questions. Message retracted by Mark. What else is there? I sold all my ADA for Sol last week. Well, that turned out to be a good move. My mother is 89 and owns a little basket of crypto. You know what? My grandmother is also in her 90s, and she owns a little crypto. So I don't think she fully understands it, but she just wants to be part of the excitement or have some excitement. So yeah, age is not really a thing. It just matters on if you believe in something or you want to invest, right? But there are some people that just will not invest, so it won't. You can't convince them otherwise. Are you aware of Phantom is flying right now? Everything is flying right now. Why is this not working? It's not picking up anything. Maybe that's why it won't come up. There we go. Now it's working. Yeah, today's a good day. 8%. Harmony is having a good day. I mean, all the EVM chains, EVM compatible chains, you know, Harmony's up 6%. You know, they're pretty much having a good recovery day today. That's kind of what I said at the beginning, right? So it looks like there's a little profit taking with Bitcoin this morning, and it seems like some people have put those profits into altcoins, which is why altcoins are actually doing good. They're coming up, and that's what we want to see. Erica asks, is it a bad idea to move a little BTC into ETH now, since ETH may have a higher gains? I already have 70% of BTC. Yeah, I mean, if you have 70% of BTC, remember, I've been saying 50, 25, 25. So I think 70% of BTC isn't bad, but if you want a little bit more growth, yeah, you could take 20% out and put in some of the altcoins like big caps like Ethereum and Solana and Polkadot and Terra, you know, these guys, right? I don't think that's a bad idea. Do you know about GRT? Anything about their supply issue? I know about GRT. I don't know about their supply issue. What is their supply issue? So according to this, they have a total supply of 10 billion. About half of it is out. What is the issue? I've never heard of a supply issue with a graph. Terra, I think, along with everything else, probably a 5 to 10x from here. Do I have stable coins? Yeah, I hold stable coins. That's part of, you know, when I say take profits, right, doesn't mean that you have to cash out to cash USD. You can cash out of stable coins, especially if you go use it to buy in later, right? But I would just suggest not holding USDT. I still don't trust them completely, although I still do have some USDT, and there's some places you just have you have no choice. But USDC or Paxos or Anything else is better. Does money going to future ETF lead to the purchase of actual BTC? No, not right now. But we know that whales and these institutions, sometimes they play both sides. They do own BTC and they buy Bitcoin futures. So even though it's an indirect effect, right? Sometimes it leads to a direct effect. I have purpose BDC ETF in a tax-free account. Should I be buying real BTC with it? Depends. I mean, Purpose is BTC ETF actually buys Bitcoin. So you're actually contributing to the fund buying Bitcoin. But it's not as good as holding Bitcoin yourself. But if you don't want to deal with all that, you don't want to deal with opening a brokerage account and dealing with the security of a Bitcoin, although you should. If you really don't, then I think that's the next best thing. What do you think about NFT comics? I don't know. I'm not a big comic guy, so I can't really talk about it. What's the worst case in Ethereum for the next 6 months? I don't know what the worst case is. If Bitcoin, let's say, retraces 50% from here, goes from 60,000 down to 30,000 again, right? Can Ethereum retrace down to 2,000 or 1,800 like what we saw earlier this year? Yeah. So I would say in the next 6 months, the worst case scenario, starting from now, we just retrace for next 6 months down to 50% for Bitcoin. Ethereum probably be like 1,800 or so. All right, last question. Have 75K going to iTrust Capital. What's the best spread you recommend for the coins offered? I don't know what you mean. The best spread, like best ones to hold, that's up to you. Again, 50, 25, 25. 50% in Bitcoin, 25% in all caps, big caps, 25% in mid to small caps. That's what I always say. I think that's a good portfolio allocation to hold, and it helps you in all situations. When Bitcoin pumps, when all coins pump, right? When everything goes down and Bitcoin is stronger, or say big caps are stronger, it helps you pretty much, like in every situation. All right, guys, that is it. You know what? Today's Friday, so I'm not going to stream tonight, but I will have another video for you guys. But outside of that, let's see what happens. We're heading into the weekend. Low volume. Traditionally, weekends have been good for Bitcoin, at least for the last few months. So we'll see if that trend continues. But this is the bigger picture type of... this is the bigger picture type chart, trend, model, however you want to call it. This is what I'm focused on, and this is looking pretty darn good. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, but I do have a video for you guys tonight, all right? All right, guys. Take care.